program to bring you a special report.
Welcome to the second Tuesday of last week's news. I'm Sandy Sanders.
And I'm Michael Michaels. Let's get straight into the headlines. An election was held in Poland last week, which had a 0% turnout. This caused it to be dubbed a ghost election.
It turns out it was just a bitter election between Casper and the Marshmallow Man on who could provide safe housing to haunt for homeless ghosts. Since the growing likelihood of the Democratic National Convention being virtual this year, a few of Joe Biden's advisors have suggested creating a giant hologram of him over the Grand Canyon, similar to Travis Scott's concert in Fortnite.
Yes, everyone's dream of a giant Joe Biden dabbing on the haters and shouting, "Am I on the YouTubes yet?" A man in South Dakota was charged with a DUI after he ran himself over with his own car.
On top of that, his car filed for physical and emotional damage from the event.
Adding insult to injury. Archibald Cliff Lodgens Ungles, a distinguished student of Vanderbilt University, made headlines by starting many popular online petitions and protests.
We wanted to learn more about this up-and-coming leader in the community and what he hopes to change. Welcome, Archibald.
Yes, hello, Michael and Sandy. I can go ahead and predate by the butchering of my name that, yes, my cohorts at Vandy, as we call it, made a lot of japes about the complexity of it. All the while I'm working towards my major that I created myself in storytelling in the modern political narrative.
You know, I'm a little curious about your two last names. They're very unique. Why do you have two?
Michael. I was raised by two incredible women, and my mothers are so strong and independent, I could never just pick one of their names.
Well, you also made headlines by starting a popular online petition against male-dominated crosswalk signs. What is your goal behind this?
Think about it, Sandy. Really think about it for a second. It's an orange hand telling you to stop doing whatever you were doing, and then a white person has to tell you it's okay to go. That's the perfect analogy for the American political landscape.
We haven't really addressed the elephant in the room here. Why are your hands taped to your chest?
Michael, I am so glad you asked, because I've been really distraught about all of the sexual assault allegations on both presidential candidates, and I thought, what better time than now with quarantine to develop my own product to curb this? And I present on your show the restraint jacket. Now, mind you, this is a prototype. We're working with experts to develop it further. I've also developed a 5-step plan to further implement this. Klaus is my intern. He's been such a dear. Now, if you would look here with step one is the restraint jackets. We've already talked about that, and it's really working. I cannot do much. And then step two, no! I am a strong, independent son of strong, independent women, and I will do this on my own. Hands in pockets. If they pass the vest, they get to go back to hands in pockets. But if not, they move on to step 3.
Well, that's all the time we have, but thanks for being with us, Archibald.
It's a shock collar. Tell Tumblr I was here.
We have an update on our previous story about a Portland strip club that had dancers delivering food under the name Uber Eats.
Now they are offering a drive-through pickup where dancers are in the parking lot for performances.
This has caused confusion as many drivers in the area are starting to pull up to teenage girls on the street doing the savage TikTok dance.
I'm arrested. A woman was arrested after calling the police to report that her crotch was on fire and needed somebody to come put it out with their hose.
This, of course, is Sandy's favorite line to say to men when she's drunk.
Oh, for sake!
You know, Sandy, your crotch being on fire may be a sign of worse things down there.
Oh my God, you son of a... No, cut it. No, sign off. Bye, bitch.
Hear that? Oh, sorry, Jonathan. Hi, we're here with the Kristin and Jonathan show. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit, I'm freaking out a little bit.
Why are you freaking out? This is showtime. It's not freak out time.
I know. I can't. See, there it is again. Yeah, and I swear, like, stuff is just starting to come out of nowhere, and I don't know when.
Whoa! What?
Tell me to see that.
That was one of those creepy porcelain dolls I just saw. Are you being haunted?
I moved into this apartment. You know that mansion I lived in?
Yeah.
That we lived in, but
Yeah.
I kicked you out of because you were, you.
I'm not a tidy person. I'm just not.
This doll is following me everywhere.
Well,
I swear.
yeah, that was part of our fight, was you didn't believe me about the doll. Oddly enough, this was the opposite of the conversation we had. Yep, and there she is. That's the doll that I said was haunting me.
Okay, I don't know what that was, but
Yeah. Do you believe me yet?
what's your problem?
I'm just mad. I'm just still mad that you didn't believe me, and now you're being haunted.
I'm not being haunted, Jonathan. You're being ridiculous, okay? I just...
Yeah.
Do you think if I offer her to intro our guest today, she'll leave us alone?
It's try it. Let's see.
Well, I'm not calling her.
Hang on. I know how this works. I've been dealing with her for a while. Beatrice.
Sup, Jonathan?
There you are. Hey, Beatrice.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, I'm still mad at you, too. You got me ran out of the mansion.
Well, it's not my fault you're a little...
Yeah.
But anyways, we've got an exciting show. We've got an exciting show for you. We've got an exciting show.
Y'all just make up your mind. Who's doing the intro? Because I feel like, Kristin, you are helping Beatrice at this point.
No.
Wait a minute. Were you Beatrice this whole time and you just wanted to get rid of me so that you could sell the mansion?
No. But anyway, aside from our friendship issues, we've got a really exciting show for you guys this week.
Oh, we've got the Jonestown Players.
The JT Pizzles.
All right, we have the illustrious stand-up comedian Shaunak
Godkhindi.
We've got to check in with Mark Kendall. Hopefully he'll be here. I'm a little worried.
Well, actually, we did put out an APB for him. We have not heard anything back from him. He's not answering my texts, my calls, my emails, my faxes. But I'm also concerned that Harmony Humpty may have, fallen off a wall or something and cracked open her head.
I mean, did you see her segment last week? I'm a little concerned for your safety and mine.
Yeah, I think she has a real issue with people pronouncing her name wrong. But let's not fill my head with thoughts about looking over my shoulder. All right, I already got Beatrice to worry about. How about we go ahead and check out the Jonestown Players? Welcome to our interview with TJP, the Jonestown Players.
And
Hey, Katie, come back.
Katie got
Katie.
I was getting my mouth.
Every time.
She was here for a full 20 minutes until we
I
decided.
wanted a dramatic entrance.
So, Jonathan, you've got quite a beard there.
my beard is also under construction.
Mine too.
Mine too. It's getting there.
Can we just get a close-up of all three beards, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually have an online poll below. Can we get a rating on a scale of, I guess, 1 to 3? Unless you want to insult us and tell us we have beards. Tell us which of these three beards is most preferable.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous is
That's what we're
exactly.
looking for.
Magnanimous.
Who has the most magnanimous beard?
Which beard would you like to take home and meet your mother? Is
Exactly,
the real
right?
question.
I mean, is size everything? I don't know.
Right? Sometimes you just want a cuddly one.
Exactly.
It's also texture. It's shape.
Yeah. Do you condition that shit? That's what I want.
Every other night I do. So, ladies.
If you're ever not in the mood to go out for some reason, do you say, no, I have to stay at home and condition my beard?
I have to protein my beard.
What I want to know a little more about y'all's routine, do you guys meet up and kind of like exercise those improv muscles like couple times a month, or like, do you just hassle each other over Zoom? Like, how do you guys stay fresh?
Well,
You know?
It's $1 million question.
that is the $1 million and 1 penny question.
Mhm.
In the before 4 times, we would meet every other week on my back deck, and we would just just f around, just be stupid and silly, and then we before the quarantine happened, we were starting to get into like some real like it was almost like trying to make it like a class kind of thing, right, guys? Like we were going to focus on one particular sort of element.
Yeah, we're starting to get into like trying to go and do other like comedy festivals outside of the Atlanta area. So we were was it North Carolina or South Carolina?
North
Comedy
Carolina,
Festival?
North Carolina Comedy Festival, and they say they want us to come back maybe at the end of the year, but who knows?
I think since then we just kind of like talk via messenger or text message.
Yep.
We keep talking about doing like a Zoom or something like that, but
I would love to do a Jonestown Zoom show. So that, I mean, it just, we got to find the way to line everything up. Like you think it's easy since like we're all trapped indoors, but we are trying to find ways to distract ourselves, and then we just get lost in that because like our normal jobs are pretty much non-existent for the most of us.
Yeah, like I've been remodeling my kitchen, which is a terrible idea.
And I've been doing a 1,000-piece puzzle, which is a terrible idea.
I've been coloring by numbers. Here, let me show you. Because, like, you can turn your brain off at the same time that you get to color. You know, you don't have to worry about what it is you're coloring. Look, it's a snail.
Oh, it looks like Gary.
It's like an 8-bit snail.
I know. It's 8-bit, like a color by numbers.
It's badass.
A while ago.
So cool.
Are you using like gel pencils or something?
Yes, thank you. Yes, because I want it to be as difficult and tedious as possible.
I actually did get like one of those like coloring books made for adults where it's like really complicated, intricate of like coloring in all the spaces and stuff. And I did it one summer. I did one single card. Actually, I have it. Let me go get that. Come under the sea with me. So
psychedelic,
I've got like 34 pages of this, and these are all postcards. So I can actually send these out to people.
I'm surprised you're not doing this interview from the pool behind you.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised.
I think we're all a little surprised.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Oh, look. Well, there you go. There you have it, everybody. We got Kristin in the pool.
Best interview ever.
Yeah. Now, did you eat before going in?
On duty right
Did you wait 30 minutes?
She drank.
Is she cramping?
Oh God. Oh God.
Jonathan, save her.
I just
So where did you come up with the idea for the Jonestown Players?
Well, I always wanted to do like a culty themed improv team. It was like originally in my mind like something like cult classics or something like that, and like apparently there actually is a team called that. So like we're not gonna do that.
JJ had the idea for the invocation.
Yes, the invocation.
And you wanted it to be cult themed.
Yeah.
And I think the theatrics of like having like the robe and stuff was, it might have been my input, or we just sort of arrived at it organically. I think at one point we talked about like how everyone might wear like a different robe, like someone's in a bathrobe, someone's in like a Jedi robe, someone's in like a monk robe.
Yeah.
And just to be a little bit like goofier. Mm-hmm. And I think we just decided to go a little bit more theatrical.
Somebody said it where we should throw out Kool-Aid to the audience at the end of every show.
Yeah.
Packets of Kool-Aid, and we were all just...
Now, originally, did he mean like a whole, like just throwing the Kool-Aid on people like a Gallagher show? Because I think that would...
Well, he came up with the hashtag because Tom was also in another group, Bouncers, and they would, what was it, hashtag get bounced, they would say at the end of every show. And he suggested hashtag drink the Kool-Aid. And we were like, well, then let's get them Kool-Aid to throw at the end. So I think he gave us the hashtag. And then amongst us, we were all like, well, let's just throw out real Kool-Aid. But we threw out Flavor-Aid.
You have a unique show. You have a unique format. Like how you do your show from start to finish is different from a lot of shows that I've seen. So do you have any any advice for people that are just getting started forming teams to kind of come up with their own, something that's unique to them?
I don't have too much to contribute as far as experience being in an improv troupe, because this is the first one that I've ever been a part of. But I would say just in general as an artist, just to not limit yourself and not be like, okay, well, this is what everybody else does, and we really like these 5 groups, so we're going to, do exactly what they do. Just to allow it to breathe and to not be afraid to try things. Because I'm a Capricorn, so like I can do that very easily, like put myself in a box very easily. But I think it behooves artists, right, to just let it be an amoebus under construction thing and allow it to change over time. Oh my God, did I just bookend this Zoom meeting?
You did. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wrote so long.
That's how Jonestown does it.
Well, thanks for being on the show, and we gotta jump to our sponsors. Hello, it's Jonathan with the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show, and I've got a special announcement. The announcement is we're about to add a second show, which is a sketch show, to our lineup. So we're looking to add this in the next 2 weeks. So if you create sketches or have sketches that you've already shot and you want them to be on our show, so send them to us via our website that should be showing up right now. There's a form on there. You just submit it attached to the form, and we'll get it and we'll look at it. And if it fits for the show, we'll add it to the show. So jump in, start shooting stuff. If you don't have stuff, if you've got stuff that you think would be a great fit for a sketch show, please send that to us. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks with our sketch show. Thanks, everybody.
And we're back with a not so exciting conclusion. Our friend Mark Kendall will not be returning, at least for the most immediate future. Well, he was able to sell his glasses, an empty pack of gum, and his dignity, but it still wasn't enough for the ravenous cookie monster. He even offered him sugar-free cookies, but he wasn't a fan of that. It sent him into a rage beyond all content, and he has been all over the street since. We can't stop the man. Ah! Dear God! There he is!
Sorry, Cookie Monster set an alarm and then forgot about his alarm. Cookie Monster over this weekly segment from Mark Kendall, because Mark Kendall owes him money. This is Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster only accept payments in cookies. This is also no longer the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show. This is now Cookie Time with Cookie Monster. First order of business, cookies. Second order of business, also cookies. Third order of business, also cookies. Fourth order of business, also cookies. Fifth order of business, chairs. Just kidding, cookies. Sixth order of business, cookies. Seventh order of business, cookies. Any cookies?
But sir, what are your demands?
Cookies.
Ah!
Right, Cookie
Evil.
Monster out. Sorry for being not so punctual. Next time, Cookie Monster figure out how to use Zoom. Goodbye.
No! Where's Mark Kendall? Please, we're live.
We need Mark.
The people want to know.
He's gone. He's gone. Let's go to a word from our sponsors. Hi, it's Jonathan with the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show. I'm coming to you today because our friends over at Labbit have come up with a new line of pregnancy test with the same accuracy as the test of COVID. So one of their tests, which is the regular peon stick, has an accuracy of 40%, and it's the easiest way to test at home to see if you're pregnant. They have another test, which is a blood test, where you go into the doctor's office, any doctor's office, and they take your blood, and it has a 70% accuracy to tell you whether or not you're pregnant. And then their finale, their biggest pregnancy test that they come out with in this line, is a test that you go into their lab, and they actually stick a camera inside of your girlfriend, wife, mistress, whichever one, to see if there's a baby there, which gives us a 98.9% accuracy rate. Our friends at Labbit, they're always innovating, and look forward to this coming this fall. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.
You're coming in well looking like me, and the sound can be a good touch. Because you just interact with strangers, you go to weird places all the time doing comedy. Like, recently I did a show in the middle of nowhere in like this weird town in Tennessee. I knew it was going to be like a weird night because everyone in this small town looked like they were friends with Jesse from Breaking Bad, you know? Like, I got there and I was like, ooh, how fun that everyone has a scowl on their face. I did not know they made that many tap-out t-shirts, but that's pretty cool. You know? Collectively, this town had a dirty kitchen, and if you can find them, you got to be the mayor. And I had 16, I'm the superintendent. Okay, all right. It was this really small town, and we got to the bar where the show was, and it was really scary, and the host came up to introduce me, and he was wearing a NASCAR t-shirt, no sleeves. I don't know, I think he left them at home, I don't know what happened. And on his neck he had tattooed, WWJD, what would Jesus do? And I just remember thinking, probably not that. Right? And his job was to introduce me, bring me up on stage, and this is verbatim how he did it. He was like, hell yeah! I got a surprise for y'all tonight. Because I have no idea what kind of Latino this next guy is. But he is here tonight. Get on up here. Let me go. And he was holding a real gun. It was the biggest gun I've ever seen. It was hilarious. But I had to get up there and do my jokes in front of all these strangers I never met. So I just got up there and I was like, hey folks, I don't know how to tell you this, but I am actually one of the Indian kind of Latinos. Thanks. And then the audience left and they understood what the joke part of that was, but then the host had to come back up and he was kind of embarrassed, you know, and he was like, me, man. I'm so sorry, guys. Hey, God's working on all of us, isn't he? Work on me, God! I mean, geez, I'm sorry, y'all. I had no idea, folks, that Indian people were Latinos, too.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Jonathan Kristin Morning Show Live. We are here with Shaunak, who's going to talk about some stand-up comedy. And tell us a little bit about your sets, your stand-ups.
My name's Shaunak. I do stand-up around Atlanta and all over the Southeast. I am a regular at the Skull, the Punchline, kind of anywhere that's going to let me do it. I'm there. And then I get to travel a little bit, and I want to get back to it. So someone find a cure, please.
So when you were new, what was it like? Like, did you have people kind of push you into it, or did you just like fall in love with it?
Yeah, so I started doing it, I think, my junior year in Athens, and I had loved it since I was in middle school. And then I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were like, well, there's an open mic you can sign up for. And then I did it, and it was so much fun. And then I kind of never looked back. Like, I've just been doing it since then. And the scene was really small then in Athens, and it's grown a ton. And I would come to Atlanta every week, and I got to meet all the people in Atlanta. And so when I graduated, it was pretty easy transition. So there's a lot of cutthroatness in stand-up, but for the most part, the community is very supportive. And if you're bringing it and you're having fun, then people notice.
So which came first, Six Kids or your stand-up?
Yeah, so I started doing stand-up like a year before I started doing improv. So
oh wow.
Yeah, so I started doing stand-up, and then like a couple months later, I started doing improv, and then I got into the improv troupe in Athens, Improv Athens, and everyone that you know in Six Kids is just my class that graduated from Improv Athens. So we all moved over. And we were like, we still want to do it. So we just formed Six Kids at that point.
Yeah, y'all stay busy. I would say out of all the Atlanta teams that I've paid attention to over the past couple of years, you guys stay the busiest, whether it's doing stuff as Six Kids or those of you who are out doing stand-up. Like, y'all stay busy. You're not messing around with it. You're in it to win it.
No, yeah, I really appreciate that. And I think I'll pass that along too. Yeah, I think all of us want to make some type of career performing or writing or somewhere in the space. So I think we have recognized that Atlanta is a great place to get your feet wet.
I used to book artists, like small acoustic artists, and how I would book them is I would go to Athens and go to Hendershots, and that's how I booked people.
Oh, sure.
But that was like 8 or so years ago when I was doing that.
Yeah, so there's still a ton of that happening there. I think, like I did a stand-up show at Hendershots like in February, and right before our show started, there was like a huge crowd for a singer-songwriter show there. So I think that culture is still very much driving that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because it would be like the way that they did the open mic back then was it didn't matter. If you wanted to come in and do stand-up, do stand-up. You want to do spoken word poetry, do spoken word poetry. If you wanted to come sing a song, sing a song. It was great.
Yeah, definitely. And when I started in Athens, there was a ton of that too. Like I would be doing shows where the predominant lineup was like poetry people, and then I'd be going up being like, does anyone else's mom do this? Like, so I'm glad to see the scenes grown, and people there don't have to do that anymore.
Sometimes like you have to go in there and the energy is so not that, and then you walk and you're just like, what's the deal with moms? And you just run with it, and everyone's like, holy shit, this kid is funny.
Yeah, and I also think like improv and stand-up, doing both doing both a lot. I think I've learned things that have informed the way I do the other one. And I think one of the things that doing stand-up has taught me about improv is like reading a room and how to set yourself up for success while looking at who's in the room watching you. And I think sometimes I've seen improvisers that don't have like performance background outside of improv, and that can hurt them doing improv only in those circles. And so I think that's helped me like understand both sides of performance.
You have like a go-to tip or like something that you've gone to in the past when you're like, okay, this is what helps me read a room?
It's helpful if you're on the show to watch everyone else that's going up, even if it's before and after you, so you can kind of assess like what your play is in a situation like that. Like especially if it's like a cold room or a room that is not vibing with the show, you can watch and kind of see like, okay, what should I do here that would be authentic and set me up for success with my type of jokes and stuff.
So what are you doing to stay sane during lockdown?
I have been making a lot of very dumb videos on my Instagram. They're fun. I've been doing a lot of weird sketches with friends from my safe distance. And then there's a lot of online stand-up shows. And Six Kids has been doing improv shows, streaming them too. So I've been staying busy just doing the things I would be regularly doing just from my desk. I recently found out that the Indiana Jones movies were the reason PG-13 exists.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, someone told me that. So, I'm not just a pretty face, guys. I have some facts.
Who said that?
Yeah, I think yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I think those movies are why PG-13 exists. Someone check me on that. It seems right, though.
Can't remember what year, but Weird Science. I remember watching that, and it was mid to late 80s, and it was rated PG. And when it came out, there's a scene towards the end where this girl is like gripping on for dear life and all of her clothes fall off. And then, you see the action, right? And I'm like, this is PG? Like, kids in the 80s had it made. Like, those 13-year-old boys were like, hey, I'm just going to go over Billy's and watch Weird Science for the 5th time this week, Mom.
Yeah, it's funny to see, like, what's become what we've kind of valued as adult and what we haven't. It's interesting.
It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely.
Before we get back to our sponsors, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Yes. Thanks for having me, guys. This was really fun.
Christmas Everyday Tour with DJ Cloud, coming to a city near you. Every day is Christmas when you're partying with DJ Cloud. Put your hands up if you ever f***ed a reindeer. Yeah, just me. Okay. Oh, that guy in the back. Okay. You know Dasher, you know Dancer, but do you know DJ Santa Claus?
Dead drugs in the piggy pudding, drugs in the piggy pudding.
Christmas Everyday Tour with DJ Cloud, starting December 25th, 2019, ending December 25th, forever. Christmas every day. It's Christmas in July. It's Christmas on Sundays. It's Christmas every single day.
Wow. What do I even say?
Yeah, it's been an interesting show.
Yeah, well,
Best dolls, the occult improv, the illustrious Shaunak.
Kendall is maybe no more.
I mean, Cookie Monster said he would. It sounded like he was saying he would release Mark if we got him enough cookies. And we have a baker on staff, so I don't.
Baker on staff.
We could be making cookies, but we don't know if there's a cookie amount.
We have a baker on staff?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Well, I guess I get a mansion, you get cookies.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You get a fat house. I get a fat because you didn't specify that the juicy booty had to belong to you. So.
Or maybe it's because I already have a juicy booty, okay?
Oh!
But that's for our viewers to decide. Let us know which one has the juicier booty. No,
Yep.
Please don't. My fragile self-esteem can't take it anymore.
You know what? We made it 5 episodes.
Oh my God, is it 5 already?
5.
High five. Like Akon, smack that.
Oh,
No?
It made you disappear. I'm not doing that. I don't want to disappear. Kristin? Did Beatrice get you? Hello? No, Beatrice.
The person that joined the morning show live.